Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining the training. Appreciate everyone being on time. Looks like we got a good number of people in here, so we'll kind of kick things off. So again, thanks for being here. Thanks for joining us. We really appreciate it. I'm excited to go through the training with you guys and show you kind of all the ins and outs of solo, how it works, how you can use it to sell, and everything else attached with that. So if I could just get, if you can hear me, will you just put yes in the chat just to make sure that my audio is in fact working? Awesome. Thank you, everyone. Okay, cool. Well, just a few housekeeping items before we kick things off is number one, and I get asked this question more often than any other question, is there will be a recording of this that is automatically sent out to everyone right after the training. So I use a software called Webinar Ninja to host these trainings, and so probably about 10 to 15 minutes after the training is over, you'll get an email that says, thank you for attending, we've got you with the replay, and then there will be a link. It's a pretty long link, but you can click on that, and that will allow you to view the replay. You can download it. You could share that link with your team members and colleagues. So you will get a recording of this right after. The second thing is that you guys are using the chat. Awesome. We love it when you guys use the chat. Excuse me. If you have a question that you want to ask me during the training, there is a separate question kind of at the top of the chat where you can ask questions. And so there'll be a little question mark in the chat bubble icon. So just make sure if you do have questions that you want me to answer or address during the training, make sure to put those questions in the dedicated question section, and then I can be sure to answer those chronologically when we're done with the training. So that will just ensure that everyone's voice gets heard, and I can answer everyone's question in chronological order, give everyone the respect and time that they deserve. So kind of an outline for today, what we're going to do is we're going to dive into the platform itself. We're going to go over kind of some best tips, how to search, how to pull up customers, just kind of some ins and outs of the site to teach you any nuances and special things about it so you understand how to use the site. And then we'll dive into the proposal itself and go into how that's used, how you can best use it to sell, how it really can affect your system and be really great for you. So without any further ado, what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen. And what I'll need you to do one more time is just confirm with a yes if you're able to see the solo platform and you're able to still hear me. All right, awesome. So let me just double check that we've got a bunch of yeses. Okay, great. Well, I'm going to kick things off. Again, this is going to be recorded, so you will get a recording automatically sent to you after this. Sometimes I get emails where people say, oh, I didn't get the recording. What's up? It likely went to your spam. So just make sure to check your spam, and it will be from Webinar Ninja, and it's going to say we've got you covered with the replay. So awesome. Let's dive into it. So first things first, kind of the number one rule about solo is you want to make sure that you're always using our software on Google Chrome. That's going to be absolutely essential. If you use a different software or a different service such as Microsoft Edge or Apple Safari, it could skew your designs. It could make the system just not work correctly. It could format some things differently or weird. So just make sure that you're not using anything other than Google Chrome. It has to be Google Chrome. If you're using an iPhone, download it on your phone. If you're using an Android, it's likely already on your phone, but you should download it anyway if you don't have it. So just make sure that you're using Google Chrome. Once you have Google Chrome downloaded, you can go to the site and just plug in the URL, phx.gosolo.io, and then in your top right-hand corner, you'll have these three little dots, and that's their menu. If you click on that, you'll be able to save it to your home screen as an app, and that will allow you to have kind of the same experience you feel with most apps where you just click into it and are able to access the site. So make sure, again, Chrome, three dots in the top right corner, click on that and then save to home screen as an app, and that will allow you to click into and out of the solo site as if it were a native app on your phone. Other thing is we'll start here in this top right corner where mine says David Wilson. I'm in my demo account here, so some things may look different for me than they do for you because it's a demo account. Don't be alarmed. It just means that mine's a demo account and there's some things that are different about it. The second thing is I am also set to an owner level permission. And so some of the things that I'll be able to see and access will not be things that a sales rep or a sales manager or account manager permission set will be able to view. So again, if you see anything on my system that looks odd or weird or something that you don't have access to, there's no issues. It just means it's a different permission setting. So starting here in the top right, I'm going to click on my down arrow and then choose between light mode or dark mode. So you'll be able to choose on any browser and anytime you're logged into Solo if you'd like to operate in dark mode or light mode. For this purpose, I'm going to stay in dark mode. I think it's a little easier on the eyes. And I'm going to come right down here and click on Profile. When you click on Profile, it's going to take you to your profile. And this is where you'll be able to see your first name, last name, phone number, email. You can change your password if you want to. You can edit personal information if you want to. And then one of the most important parts is down here at the bottom where you see this SMS opt-in or email opt-in. Those will be two things that I would recommend that you have opted into, and you can choose either text messaging or emailing. If there's a way that you respond better, then go ahead and just choose the one that is better for you. All these will do is that you'll get notified by text or by email when a proposal is created or when you're tagged in a note, or it's just system kind of defaults and issues and services. So if you're ever once you request a proposal, you wait your 10 to 15 minutes, you get it back, it's going to text you a link that says your proposal for John Doe is ready. Click here to access it. So you're never going to get any spam or anything like that. It's only going to message you links to proposals or services to make your life a little bit easier as far as accessing those services. So I personally recommend the SMS opt-in. I feel like that's the easiest way to make sure you see the notifications and can quickly access them. But if you prefer email, feel free just to choose email. The other thing I'll show you is here on the right side, you'll have this upload profile picture. That's going to be pretty important because when you have that uploaded, it's going to put your picture in your profile, which is just kind of a nice way to personalize your portal. But in addition, on your proposal, it can also show your image right here on the proposal next to your presented by information. That will make it nice for the customer that you're pitching to be able to see a little image of you so that they kind of remember you and they have your contact information right there. So I would add a profile picture in there for those two reasons. And again, after you've made any of these changes, make sure you click the save button at the bottom or else it will not save. Changes won't take place. You'll have to come back in and do it again. So that's kind of the profile page. I'm going to go ahead and click on Solo in my top left corner to go back to my home page. The other options in your top right menu are just log out. I have a log out as because I am logged in as a demo account. You would not ever have that, so you would just have profile and log out. Now in the top left corner, we're going to see the main menu. So this is the menu that you can use to really navigate and learn about, go through a lot of different functions within your Solo platform. And so kind of starting from top to bottom, the customers, solar proposals, shading reports, roofing, docs, and CAD. So these first 5 items, those are all our first 6 items, excuse me. All 6 of these will have basically the same functionality. And what I mean by that is if I click on customers, I'm going to search and create, which is a little different than solar proposals, which has search and queue. Now, most of these sections, as you can see, will have a search and a queue functionality. What that's going to mean is that you'll be able to search existing items that you have requested or are waiting for, or you can check the queue to check the status of existing requests that are waiting to be delivered. So you can kind of see each of these, you'll have your search and your queue functions. So to show you how that works, starting at the top, I will click on customers and you'll see the search. When I click on this, it will just automatically pull up anything that I have automatically put in as a customer. So you don't have to touch anything and it will return at least 100 of your most recent results and give you the page over option if there are more than 100. You'll also have the download CSV option right above that if you did want to download this data column by column, row by row into a CSV file. Now, if you want to pull up, sample and type in the name sample to see if you have that, you can pull up, oh, roofing sample, perfect. So you can still search by different information if you want to by typing it into the search bar, and that will help refine your search. Or you can click on the advanced button on the right side of the search bar, and this will give you the option to search by state, by status, which is if it's been delivered, if you've requested CAD, if you've requested docs, and then you can also search by company if you have different sub-accounts. When you do by company, that will also give you the ability to search by sales rep or setter if you are at a permission level where you're able to see that information. And then, of course, if you want to just see all the proposals you requested, last month, you can just go May 1 to May 31. We'll leave it on Demo Wilson. I'm going to take this out and I'm going to click search, and then it will pull up the different results for that. So you can search by all different ways here. Now, one big important difference that we still kind of run into is that if you have submitted a customer and the customer does not have a proposal created for that customer yet. So for instance, I have a demo, or I have an appointment on Thursday with John Doe. I request my proposal today and I put it in as a next day proposal, meaning that it will be delivered within 24 hours. So I can expect that proposal to be back to me by tomorrow morning, Wednesday morning, which will give me 24 hours before my appointment with that proposal. Now, if I go through the new customer process, which we'll do here in just a moment, I request the proposal and then I get to the end of that process and I want to go search John Doe's name to make sure I've done everything correctly, check out the account, whatever it might be. If I go in and I do a customer search, John Doe will appear there because he has been input into the system and he is a customer in my profile. Now, where people often go, the wrong direction is they will go into solar proposals and they will use this search. Now, the important distinction here is that customers will return everyone who has been input into your database. Solar proposals will only return people that a solar proposal has been created for. So John will not appear in my solar proposal search until tomorrow when my proposal has been delivered for him. So what we'll get a lot of calls for every day is a customer will put in a request for a proposal. They'll immediately go to their menu, search solar proposals and click search. They type in John's name and John doesn't appear because it hasn't been created yet. So that happens quite a bit. So just make sure that if you are doing a general search, you go through the customer search first. If you know that there's proposals for the customer you're looking for because you've seen it before, or it's been a real-time request and you're maybe a couple hours after that, you can do proposal search. So just try to remember that important distinction between the two. Now, the search functionality that I showed you in customers, that same functionality works with all the docs, CAD, props, everything. So I won't dive into the search again, but I will show you this queue here because the queues, just like the search options, they all work identically between the different services. So I'll click on queue. And this will give you a glimpse into what has been requested, how long you've been waiting for it, if it's been assigned to a proposalist on our side, and if it's been completed by a proposalist and is now onto our QA queue. So we can see here again, if we're going off the example where I've put John through the system, John's in my standard queue here, I'd be able to see him in here, and then I'd be able to see once it's done in the standard queue, it goes to the quality assurance queue, and I'd be able to see John's name up there. So you can always check the queues to see where your proposals are in terms of status and delivery. And then if you're an admin or an owner permission level, you'll be able to see all the proposals requested for your company in here by all of your reps. So again, solar proposals queue is going to drop you right here and you'll be able to see the status of everything requested for your account. Now again, shading reports, search and queue, roofing proposals just has a search, docs has search and a queue, CAD has search and a queue. The search and the queue functionality are all the same as what I've shown you. If you find yourself using a feature more often than not, so for instance, customers and search, you'll have this pin icon and you can actually pin it and that will put it here at the top of your menu. So I'll unpin what I currently have. I'll click back into my side menu and we can see that it's just my menus. But say I want to click on solar proposals and search and have that up every time, quick access, I can do that and then quickly access the solar proposal search each and every time. The other important thing that I want to show you here is the help section. So coming down here to help, if I click on this, I'll have 3 different sections. Training resources will provide some embedded videos and additional PDFs that can guide you through some more information. I would encourage you to click into there and check that out. Contact info will be very important. So you can contact your company owner on your side if you want to, but I would not encourage that. What you can do is we do have lines dedicated to each of the different departments and services that we have here at Solo, and you can use this contact information to be able to reach out to them directly to more quickly and better solve your issues. So for example, let's say you've requested a proposal, there's some kind of issue or error with it, or maybe you're just struggling to understand how the system works, whatever it may be, you need to reach out to someone on the Solo side to figure out where this proposal is, what the customer status is, whatever it might be. If you go down through this menu, you'll see right here that we have a proposal support team. and you can call that proposal support team and they can help you out with that. And they've all been specifically trained. They have all access to the system to be able to kind of take a peek behind the curtain, so to say, to check out your information. So they'll be able to find that customer for you. One big caveat is that if you're going to do that, you need to know the customer's, at least the customer's name. It's better if you know the ID or the proposal ID. That way they can look that information up. But you'll need to have some kind of information. If you call in and say, hey, I can't find the information for my customer, that doesn't give us anything to go off of. As well as if you're going to email and you say, hey, my last proposal didn't work, that's not going to allow us to help you at all. You need to have a customer name, you need to have a customer ID or a proposal ID, some sort of unique identifying information so that we're able to look that up quickly on our side and help you out. The time it would take you to find that information and send it will save you the time in the back and forth that it would take if we didn't have that. So just make sure to always include some kind of unique name, number, email, whatever it may be for the customer so that we can quickly look them up. Your other departments are all in here as well. So you can see it's the same phone number, the 888-316-5845. And I would recommend saving that to your phone as Solo Helpline. And then the different options will be available to you for the different departments. And I'll leave you to check that out on your portal so you can see those different departments. The last thing here is the live trainings, which is what we're currently on. You can see there's an admin and owner training. There's the live platform and proposal training, which is what we're currently going through. There's a CAD and permitting training, and then soon there will be a roofing proposal training. Last but not least, there's this company section, which you will only see if you are an admin and above. So I won't be diving into the company section in this training. That is covered in the admin and owner training. So with the side menus covered and our other menu covered here in the top right, we're going to dive into requesting a customer or requesting a proposal. That's done by clicking on the new customer button in the top left corner. Now, before I click on that, I do want to highlight a few important things about requesting the proposals and as sales reps, what that process looks like to you and what has been done in our system by the company owner ahead of you requesting that proposal. Now, Solo provides proposals as a service. So what the company owner does, or your company owner or sales manager has done, is they have started an account with Solo. We have, all the staffing, the expertise, the training, the software, API integrations, a bunch of different things that allow us to create ultra accurate proposals on the time scale that works for you and your sales process. We likely have some integrations with your CRM or your knocking apps, such as Podio, SalesRabbit, Spotio, or Canvas as well, that can make your life even easier. But our whole goal is to deliver you an ultra accurate sales conversion tool, which will allow you to increase your close rate and have better conversations with your customer. So in getting that done and accomplishing that goal, what we did with your account owner or your sales manager is we went through a very thorough onboarding process. In that onboarding process, the company owner or sales manager would have given us the panels, inverters, pricing, adders, loan options, logo, color scheme, and then in addition, all the design preferences for how we are supposed to create these proposals. So keep in mind that framework and those guardrails have already been established by your company owner, and those are the rules by which we have to operate. So keep in mind that as you request proposals and you request services, there may be some times where you want to, add a specific panel that isn't in your iteration or break fire setbacks and design your proposals a certain way. Solo, and this is based on the company's choice, Solo has limited those options based on what the company owner wants us to do for you. So if there are any times where you want to add a specific panel or a loan option or create something custom or do something kind of out of the box, our team will just tell you to reach out to your company owner to get those features or items or rules added before we can do that. And that is just because we have to follow the rules that the company owner has set for us in creating the proposals, because that's what we're contractually obligated to do. So just keep in mind there might be some times where you want something that we can't deliver. It's not because we don't want to, it's just because the account's set up a unique way to make sure that we deliver on what the company owner wants. So without further ado, I'll click on new customer, and that's going to start us on a quick 3-step process. Now that 3-step process will consist of entering the customer's info, confirming the location of their home, and then uploading or entering the utility information for that client. The first name here, customer info, first name, last name, phone number, and email. Very simple information. I won't go into more detail. Location, address, city, state, and zip. Again, super simple. Not going to go into any more detail on that. I'll preload this with info and then click on next. This second screen here of confirm location, this is again very, very easy. What we're going to do with this is just meant to confirm the location of the home. Two reasons. One, to ensure that we design on the right rooftop. Two, to ensure that we pull the right latitude and longitude coordinates so that we can use NRail to pull the weather data for this home. That will give us the shading, the sun hours, some other information so that we can then apply that to the system to get the right production numbers for you. Your only goal as a sales rep in this situation is to ensure that this green pin is dropped on the right rooftop. When that's done, you can scroll down and click on next. If you do need help, you can zoom out, you can zoom in, you can move the map around, you can use the tilt function in the bottom right corner. That will then tilt the map and give you the ability to rotate it, tilt it back, make sure it's on the right house. So this map runs on Google, or I should say this section of the proposal request runs on Google. When we actually go to design, we do use more sophisticated, higher quality imaging through Nearmap. So this will just be for the selection of the home only. We often get asked, what about if it's a new build construction? What if it's not on Google yet? What if, we can't find the house for some reason? In your top right corner, you do have an upload custom build image option. When you click on this, it will give you some brief instructions that are required in order for us to design on that image. Keep in mind, if you don't follow these instructions, which is a north-oriented aerial image or blueprint, as you can see two examples of those here, if you don't follow those instructions, they will just tell you, you didn't follow the instructions, we can't design this, and you'll have to provide them. So there is not a workaround for this. We have to have an image. Once you upload the image, you'll draw a line on the ridge or a roof measurement and tell us the actual feet, so we can draw this to scale. You'll input the pitch, and then we can design on that image. So just keep in mind, you have to follow the instructions for this if there's not if the house is not on the Google imagery. The other way that you can kind of get by with this, and again, this is very unique to subdivisions across the country. As you can see here, my current example, all these homes, you can tell that they've been built by the same builder. And if you look at this home that I'm currently on and this home over here, realistically, the roof layout, you can see we've got the same awnings, we've got the same ridge, likely the exact same dimensions. If for some reason you're in a subdivision where part of the subdivision has been completed and you have similar homes to what you want to design on, you can click on a similar rooftop in the area and just put in the notes, please design on this roof. It's similar to the actual home. We will design on it that way. The benefit of this is when you look at this home and you look at this home, there's not going to be any weather data difference between the two homes that are 5 homes apart. And as we can see here, there's no difference in shading. There's no trees around either of them. And the roof type is exactly the same because we can tell clearly the same builder has built all these homes for this neighborhood. So those are your three options. One, it's there and you can just click on it. Two, you upload your custom built imagery using an aerial shot of the home or the blueprints that are north oriented. Or three, you're in a subdivision where similar homes or roof types are around and you can click on a different one and we can design on that. Once you've done that, go ahead and click on next in the bottom right. This is your third and final screen, and I'm actually going to switch to light mode for this one because I do believe it's a little bit easier to see this. So on utility information, there are 4 different ways that you can enter utility information. You only ever need to do one of the 4 ways. Your company owner or sales manager or leader may have a specific way that they want you to enter utility information. I would default to asking them how they want it done and do that, but I'll go through the 4 different ways that are possible here. The number one way, or the most accurate / quickest way, is to enter the monthly usage, which would just be January through December. You would enter the monthly amount of kilowatt hours used month by month for the 12 months. Second way is yearly usage. This would be just they've recently moved into a home and we need to estimate the 12 months usage. Maybe they don't know how much they use, so you're going to use an estimate that your company likes to use in that situation. Whatever it may be, just type in the annual amount of kilowatt hours used. We will leverage NREL to say in the region that this was requested, the typical usage curve looks like this. In Arizona, there's much more late summer or in summer than there is in the winter, just like there's in some other areas. California might be more steady with some bumps in the summertime. We'll look at that usage and then adjust the consumption profile to match what NREL says should be used. Your third option is to enter an average monthly bill. Maybe you can't get the usage information. Maybe you don't have an annual estimation tool. What you can typically do is ask the customer to pull up their banking app on their phone. They can look at how much they paid last month and say, yeah, that's about right. I spend about $165 a month on my utility bill. Then we can use our database, our utility database, and say, given the state and the utility company, $165 will consist of $8 in a interconnection fee, 7% in taxes. The rest will be your variable energy charges, and we can then break down and figure out what they would typically use in a month. So we can reverse engineer a dollar amount to give you a decently accurate usage profile. You'll want to, again, talk with your company owner or sales manager to figure out if you should then follow up in-home or virtually to get actual consumption, but that is a usable metric to be able to create a proposal. The fourth way, or the last way, is to upload the utility bill, which is right here. If you want to upload a utility bill, this will just allow you to take a picture of it, upload it, and then our tools and our people on our side can look at that graph. They can pull out the last 12 months usage and input the 12 months usage for you. We've actually developed a proprietary, unique tool called Killer Kilowatt that can actually read that graph super quick, pull the information out, and input it for you. So this has become kind of a fan favorite among reps to send over the utility bill. Next, you're just going to do your panel options, and this would be a way to choose the desired offset for the system. Now, I mentioned in the beginning, we go through the onboarding process with your company owner or sales manager. They will set the default, or they'll set how they want the proposals to be designed, but you do still have some options here to select things. So say, for instance, the company owner went through and he said, I want my offset to be 100%. If you choose company default here, you'll see that it says set to your company's best practice of 100%. We will build to 100% and then stop. On the flip side, you have max fit, where we will build to a full array. We'll max out every single array, all the potential spots where panels could fit, keeping in mind best practices or design guidelines and the fire setbacks. And then we will just activate panels to 100% using the rules and the prime placement for those panels. And I'll show you exactly how this works when we dive into the proposal itself and how you can adjust that. But the max fit option is typically what most company owners want, because as a sales rep, this will give you the most latitude and flexibility when you're pitching a customer to be able to give them exactly what they want, which will in turn increase your close rate. Next, you'll choose how quickly you need the proposal. So you do have a real-time option here, which will come back within 15 minutes or less, and you do have a next day option here, which will come back within 24 hours or less. You'll again want to defer to the situation and how your company wants you to do it when selecting the different timeframes for your proposal delivery. Next, you'll choose your utility company. This will only pull up utility companies that are available in the state that you selected in step 1. I selected Arizona, so we can see here I only have Arizona utility companies. We have over 1,000 utility companies built into our database, several thousand rate plans, so you can imagine if we were to list them all, you would be scrolling for quite some time. So make sure to always choose the utility company that you're using. The other thing you'll notice, especially if you're an Arizona person, APS, Arizona Public Service, no one calls it Arizona Public Service. They always abbreviate it. I grew up in Ohio. It was AEP. Illinois has ComEd, California has PG&E. So a lot of times, almost every time, people just say the acronym instead of the name. You'll notice here that we do not use acronyms. We list out the full names to make sure that there's no confusion. So if you're looking for, SRP, you won't find it, but you will find Salt River Project, the actual name. So just make sure that you're looking for the actual utility company name, not the acronym. If you need to enter a custom utility for some reason or because it's not in there, toggle other utility, put the custom name, put the custom price per kilowatt, and then we can build it using that. Next, you'll choose your lead type if you want to. This is an optional field. You'll choose county if you want to. This is an optional field. And then if you do need to add any notes for our design team, and this may be because you've spoken with the customer and you know that they want to add panels to the attached garage or the unattached garage, we can do that for you. If you know that we're going to be avoiding the street-facing roof panels, you can do that too. So any notes that are unique to the home or your design situation or your customer's preferences, make sure to add those notes here. The other thing is to make sure you're always as clear as possible, because remember, this is coming to us over here in Utah, and we don't have the privilege of being there on the ground with you, with the customer, seeing and looking at their home and their situation. So you'll want to make sure that you're as clear as possible. Use directions, southwest, east, north. Give us details on what you need, and we're not, you know, looking for a full detailed essay, but something that can give us a really good idea so that we can do this more quickly for you and execute on what you want so that it's ultra accurate. You can increase your close rate, we can avoid confusion, and everything runs smoothly. Once you're done with this request process, again, we've got these 3 steps up here. It should take you about 1.5 to 2 minutes. It should be a very quick process once you're used to it, much quicker than it took me to describe it. But once you're done, you'll click on submit. That's going to give you a little loading icon. And then I'm not going to submit this to avoid going to the real queue, but once you submit, it will load and it will take you to a screen just like this here. And this is exactly what it will look like. This is exactly where it will drop you. And you'll be on the customer's information screen here. And you can see that we'll have all the info for the customer in the middle of my screen. I have a live chat with the design team to the right that I can minimize. And then on the left, I have the ability to request different services and view different things about my customer. We'll come back to this customer information screen once we've gone through the proposal, but the proposal, it'll go to the queue, we create it. Once it's been created, we can text it to you, we can email it to you, or you can come to this customer's profile, click on solar, click on view. That's going to open up the proposal for you and give you access to it. Now, again, as I go down through my proposal, remember that some of the things that might be in mine may be different than what yours are. Really quickly, I am going to turn this to light mode and refresh this. It will make my menus pop a little bit more. So again, with the proposals, we customize it to each and every company. So the logo, the colors, everything in there is going to be completely custom. So I'm going to go down through here and show you how you can use this tool to increase your sales. So the number one rule about Solo is we're not a static proposal provider. We don't want you to ever have to request revisions. We don't want you to have to wait for a home-based team to edit your price or change your loan options or run credit. We want to put all the tools at your fingertips in the hopes that you will increase your close rate so that you can increase your earnings and help your company grow as well. So Solo's, you know, kind of big claim to fame, the things that we do, we save time and money, we increase your close rate, and we help you scale your company faster than anything on the market. Those are the 3 things that we do better than anybody else. So in the top left corner, you're going to see that we have a live chat. This chat technically links you with our design team. So if you did need to request a revision for some reason, or if you did need to talk to our design team, you can use this chat. Keep in mind that this is just for revision requests and clarification only. You cannot use this to ask them questions about how you use the tool. They will ignore those chats because they are designers, not customer service. That's where the help menu here with the phone number comes in, to where you can reach out to customer service or proposal support for help with questions in that manner. So again, design-based clarification questions only. The other thing you can do is you can actually use this to tag members of your team in the proposal. So for example, I'm in a home, I'm selling my guy John Doe, and I need to get a price override beyond what I'm actually allowed to do as a rep. I can type the @ symbol. I can then click on my manager, Aaron, and I can say, hey, can I get a price override to whatever it might be? When I send that off and I click send, it's going to text my manager, Aaron, and says, you've been tagged in a note on this proposal. Click here to access it. He can click it, he can edit the price, and then I can see that update done in real time. I don't even need to wait for a reply message. It's going to auto update on my proposal because our proposals live on a URL and they auto update no matter who updates it where, as long as they have the right privileges. So really, really awesome kind of consistency there among the tools. In our top right-hand corner, this is our settings toolbar. I call it a toolkit, but this is all the different menu items that you can use to adjust the proposal. So as we go down through the proposal, I'll be jumping in and out of this menu to show you how each of these different items work to adjust the proposal. Coming down, first things first, we have your solar design. This is going to show panels on a rooftop. Again, we're going to do this design according to the design preferences and rules that your company owner or sales manager has put forth. We'll have directly beneath it our system size. We'll have our estimated yearly production. we'll have the modules that we're currently using, and then we'll have the inverter that we're currently using. This estimated yearly production number is going to be given to us from NREL. We will factor in the tilt, we'll factor in your shade factors, your azimuth, all of that's going to be factored in. We're going to send over multiple API requests to NREL, pull them back, sum them up, and that will be the production number that you see here. So you can rest assured that this is an accurate production number off of NREL's system. If you do want to see more of the details going into that, you can click on Show Details. And that is going to show you your PV system data here, array, modules, azimuth, tilt, shade, and sun hours. I'll leave this section to you to explore more. If we want to change our panels, for instance, let's say, we're looking at this LG 320. I've got plenty of roof space back here on my southern array, so I might not need a premium panel like that. Maybe I could get away with a Silfab 300. How do I change that to show the customer exactly what that looks like while showing them the cost? Easy. Click into your side menu and you'll come down to equipment. Now, when you click on the equipment tab, it's going to open up all the panels that have been made available to you by your company owner. So your top menu is solar panels, your bottom menu is inverters. So I'm going to expand my first menu and I'll be able to see all of the different panels that are available to me as a rep to select with their name and wattage. And then in the right-hand side, you see that I have the price per watt increase that will affect my total price, my monthly cost, my ITC, and everything else. So right now, my LG 320 adds 15 cents. I don't need it because I've got plenty of space on the south array to hit the offset I need. So I'm going to go down to a Silfab 300, click on Update, and then we'll see this number automatically update here in about 2 seconds. There it went. So now I have a new system size, new estimated yearly production, and then further down in the proposal, which we'll touch on in just a moment, we're going to have the updated total cost, monthly cost, ITC, state and local credits. Everything will automatically update for me. I don't need to do complicated math. I just need to continue selling this deal to my customer. So now that I've swapped my panels, maybe I want to move some things around and maybe clean up my array, show some different sizing options. Very easy. Again, going back to the submission screen where we have our max fit offset, this will again max out the roof entirely and give me latitude as a sales rep to sell John Doe a system based on any size or placement that I want as a rep. You click on your edit button down here in the bottom right and it's going to open up that tool for you. So we can see here the entire roof is completely maxed out. I have my offset bubble to the right. Beneath that I have my total system cost, I have my payment, and I have my DC system size. You can toggle sunlight on if that's available in your proposal based on the API if it is allowed. And then here, red panels are inactive, green panels are currently active. And if you watch my offset, my total system cost, and my system size increase, I'm going to go ahead and add some panels over to the west array. So I'll click on these 6. We see those items change. I'm happy with the addition I've just made, so I'll come to the top right and click on Save. When I do, everything again in my proposal will adjust. Total cost, monthly cost, ITC, everything, system size, details, everything will automatically update to show that system change. As well, my inverters, you can see that it added additional inverters for my Enphase microinverters when I added additional panels. So you can use this tool as much as you want. So if you want to move the system around a dozen different times, we don't care at Solo. You can edit this as many different times as you want, get to the exact system size and panel placement you like, click Save, it adjusts it all for you. So feel free to kind of mess with this. What I suggest is before you go to your demo, make sure the system's clean, make sure the sizing's right, make sure it's everything you want, and then go ahead and go in there and pitch. I'm going to go into my equipment tab again. I'm going to switch my panel back to my LG 320, click on Update, and then I'm actually going to allow this to update for me really quick. I'll click on Edit, and then I'm just going to clean up my array again back to kind of how I like it personally as I go through my demos, and then we'll get right back into going through pricing and everything else. So I'll leave it right there at 101. I'll click Save, and then I'll come right down here to my production and consumption graph. So the consumption, and clicking back to the submission screen, the consumption that you put in here for your utility information will be pulled into the proposal on the 3rd page right here with this graph. Each bar represents that month's electrical consumption. The line above will represent the solar system's annual production. Now, what's really great about this is it gives the client who you're pitching, John Doe in my example, it gives them a really clear picture of what the solar system will be producing for them month by month. But this also gives you a really useful tool, which is the adjustment for their energy consumption. So for instance, say I get to the home, I talked to them and a daughter's leaving to college, or they're going to buy a Tesla, or maybe I didn't get accurate production to start when I submitted for the proposal. I can easily click on any one of these bars. It's going to pull up my update usage tool, which will allow me to change the annual usage or each individual month. All I have to do is simply update this to what I want it to be. Click on update in the bottom right. That will update my consumption. Then I can quickly come right back up to my system, click on edit, and then be able to just simply take panels off. Get to my 98's fine with me. I'll click on save, and now I have a nice clean 24 panel array on the south side. My consumption's dialed in, and you're going right back down to the finance section to start having the price and the cost discussion with them. This section here, you'll see some adders. Again, you'll want to work with your company owner or sales manager to see how and when they want you to use adders. They can be split up between your proposal. They can also be in your side menu, or they can be split between the two, like I have in my example here. The whole idea with adders is that you can simply click them on. It'll show you the price. You can click on update and it will automatically factor that in and add it to your cost. So you can do this again as many times as you want. I'll take them off, take it from 397 to 384. Maybe I add them back in if I want to, but this will allow you to adjust it as many times as you want in real time. Again, go through, click on them, see how the pricing and everything works on your end. They will be different for each company based on how they have them set up. This section here, this is going to say your current utility bill, and it's going to show your client what they're currently paying for their utilities. We can see here that John Doe is paying $113 a month, but even if John keeps his energy consumption consistent over the next 25 years, utility escalation and rising costs along with inflation will cause that just to keep going up. So right now he's paying $113, but in 25 years, he'll be paying over double that amount. That will be set at a default escalation that your company owner chooses. But again, in your side menu under utility escalation, you will have the ability to view that escalation rate here. You can also change it if you'd like to. And you can also separate your energy and your fixed charges separately if you'd like to. Type in a new amount, toggle your box, click update, and that will make those changes for you. On the flip side, you'll have your solar payment, which I know a lot of sales reps are comparing your current payment to your future payment. We also have our 25-year savings factored in here, but this payment will show them based on the loan option you have selected right here. It will show them what their monthly payment will be. So I'll show you how we can affect this solar payment in a couple of different ways. The first way is obviously to change the cost or the price that your client or your customer would be paying for the solar system. So if I click on my side menu and come down to pricing, this menu is going to show me kind of behind the curtain what is going into the final price per watt for my system. So we see here system pricing. In the middle, I have my final price per watt of $6.90. But I can see here that I've got a base of 305. Those premium LG panels added 15 cents a watt. I do have a battery engaged for 260. I've added those two other adders in the side menu that we just added together. And then I have my dealer fee, and that is what combines to give me the 690. Now, say for instance, you want to override the base price per watt. Right here in the middle, you're going to have a nice easy tool that allows you to take out what they're currently paying, type in a new amount, click on update, and that will immediately change their pricing. So you can come in here to this pricing tool as many times as you want, click on it, adjust the price to whatever you need it to be, click on update, and you can do that price adjustment as many times as you'd like. You'll probably want to pull the iPad back, pause the screen share if you're adjusting that in real time live with the client, but you can do that as many times as you want. On the flip side, in the bottom left, we can see here where mine says LoanPal 10-year 2.49. This will house all of the different loan options that are available to you as a rep. So if I click on LoanPal 10-year 249, it's going to bring up my select finance option tool. My top drop-down menu will allow me to choose my lender. The bottom one will allow me to choose my loan provided by that lender. I can click on save, and it will adjust my solar payment and my savings. And you can do this as many times as you want to. Change the loan option, click around, whatever you want to do. One thing I'm going to do really quick is turn off my battery so that the savings and everything looks a little bit more normal. But you can go through and click on this as many times as you want, adjust the proposal. We have your dealer fees, we have your price per watts, everything are already baked into the back end, so go ahead and click away. What's really great is once you find a loan option that you like, the savings are good, the ITC is good, the customer's ready to get qualified for credit, and you need to see if they can actually pay for what you're selling them, you'll actually have a qualify button right here labeled qualify. You can click on that, and that will pull up the lender's portal right here in the proposal. So again, this will be an API in, so you don't need to log in, you don't need to move screens, you don't need to open LoanPal, Sunlight, Dividend, Mosaic, Sonova. All of these lenders are already integrated, and it's going to automatically appear here. It will auto-populate this with the information that you already put in when submitting for a proposal, so you'll save some time on the double data entry. You will need to enter some more personal information, scroll down, check the boxes, sign to get your credit run, hit submit, and then this will actually give you a decision back and allow you to send your loan documents if they are approved. So for LoanPal, Dividend, Mosaic, Sunlight, and Sonova, this credit integration works. You will be able to run credit, get a decision back, and send your finance documents from this portal in real time. Very, very powerful tool. It's going to be the easiest thing you've done when it comes to closing sales to qualify for credit. Next to this, you'll have your incentives and rebates. We can see here that you've got your monthly payments. You can toggle these rebates on and off to show the 25-year savings with and without federal, state, local, jurisdictional, utility, custom incentives and rebates. Whatever it may be, you can turn these on and off from this page. In your side menu under incentives, this will be where you can actually expand this menu, and you can see what you have baked into the back end. We can add custom incentives for you, and this will allow you to show, hide, and edit the amounts of those incentives in real time. For example, if I want to take off the referral incentive, hide, update, and it's removed from my proposal immediately. Maybe I want to add the Utah state tax credit because this is a Utah state proposal and it's in there. I can show it. I'll override the value for $1,000, click on update, and then my Utah state tax credit's in there. We also have a down payment line here where you can click on this and you can edit the amount that will be shown. I'll take it down to 0 and make it a default so you can see what it is like when you start. You'll just have an update button. If you hover over update, click on it, add in the amount you want to put down, update, and then that will be in here for you. We do have down payment options where you can actually do payment processing in the proposal if you want to. If you want to reach out to your account manager or sales rep, we can definitely go into more detail on that. Here you'll have your system cost, which will break it down to a net system cost. You can see here your total system minus down payments equals your loan amount minus tax credits equals your net system cost. This is an image that you can adjust if you'd like to. Now, if you're selling batteries, this will be a new battery page that we have that can help you increase the attachment rate for the batteries that you're selling customers. More money for you, more money for your company, more batteries for your clients. What you will do is you'll just put in the square footage of their home. This will automatically break down their daily requirement using the consumption information that you've already input. So again, saving you time on that double data entry. So you put in the square footage of the home. You'll put in how many hours of backup they typically need. This is easily addressed by simply asking the customer how many hours the power was out the last time it went out. If it was out for 4 hours, be like, okay, we can do 4 hours of backup for you. You want to give them a little cushion, you can do 4.5. Up to you. Enter in whatever you want, whatever you feel appropriate as you get more familiar with the tool. But then you'll just say, are you going to be using heating and cooling during the outage? And that will be based on the square footage. Are you going to be charging electric cars during the outage? Type in a quantity. That will again affect their daily requirement. And then are they going to be using large appliances during the outage? Most people will probably avoid charging their cars, but they have a fridge in the kitchen and a freezer in the garage. We'll type in 2. That refines our daily requirement, updates our estimated battery recommendation size, and then the easiest part, you say, great, so we just need 15.6 kilowatts. We'll come right down here. Let's scroll through. Oh, the Enphase 10. We've got the Hanwha. Let's use the LG Chem. It's a 9.3 kilowatts, so let's add this to quote. We're going to need 2 of them, and then that will bake that into your pricing, and you'll be able to see that right there. So again, it makes it very easy to size the system and then put the battery in there, choose the quantity that you want to have. That will immediately affect the price as well. Where it was $260, it's now $130. So again, makes this very easy to go through different items, size the battery, scroll through your options, and then attach it to the system. Scrolling down here, this is a static page about savings, all-in cost of staying with a utility company versus the all-in cost of switching to solar. The difference is going to be your 25-year savings. I would encourage you to research this page a bit more, become familiar with it so you can pitch it. Here you'll have the feel-good facts. This is going to say, hey, you know, it'll offset CO2, which is the equivalent of planting approximately X amount of trees, and it will add value to your home. Again, get familiar with this page. I would encourage you to click on the source links that are below each study to be familiar with where that data comes from, to be prepared with questions from your customers. The process, this will go over 7 kind of industry standard steps that we have determined for getting solar installed on a rooftop. Again, steps 1 through 7 down here. We can edit these, we can update these, we can change your background image if you want to, reach out to your account owner or sales manager with feedback if you have any there. And then last but not least, you have your proposal details. And this will go over your current utility situation, what a system would be sized and produced for the customer, and then how much it would cost for your customer to get solar. Again, this is the end of the proposal, but you can customize this background image. Now, in your side menu, there's 3 things that I didn't get to. One is the rate plans. This will allow you to choose a different pre and post solar rate plan if your utility has that option and availability for them. Second is your export to PDF. Really quick and easy. I would request a proposal if I were you. I would export it to a PDF to see how that works, how much time it takes, what the file size is, how you can use it. Typically, we find clients are setting up a proposal as, say, a cash deal, export that, a finance deal, export that, email the customer both copies so they have a side-by-side comparison. Or they print it off, download it, send it to them, print it out, give it to them after they leave the home. There's a few different things you could do with it. Your more kind of useful tool is this share and present option. You'll see here when you open it up, it's going to give you share/present proposal. You'll have 3 options for sharing. This will be auto-completed with the information, again, that you've already entered for your client. So copy the link to your clipboard, enter it in your own email client, whatever you want to do with that link, just make sure the client gets it. You can send it via email or you can send it via text. Typically, most people are using the send via text because it will text a link directly to their phone. They can click into it, view the proposal right there in their hand in real time. Now, one of the most important things about this section is that when you share the proposal using this share present tool, it will scramble the URL and lock the proposal so that your customer cannot edit the proposal, which will be crucial to ensure that they don't change pricing and panels and everything else. This is why you'll never want to share this URL with the customer. This will not lock it in some situations. Most of the time it will, but just to be safe, always use the share present clipboard option. Next, you have this enable presentation mode. This will enable it so when you toggle it on, you can send it to the client, and any update or change that you make to the proposal will automatically update that proposal for them in real time without them needing to refresh or navigate away from the page. So if you're a virtual seller, you're using Crankwheel, Zoom, Uber Conference, any of those softwares, you can use this. Also, if you're selling over the phone, you can send them a proposal, enable presentation mode, and they'll be able to see updates and changes as you go through the pitch. Now, if you're an in-person salesperson and you use a tablet, enable slide view is going to be your new best friend. Click on this and it'll change it from one scrollable URL page to a booklet that you can simply swipe through. All of your functionality, all of your clicks and toggles, all of your functionality is still there. You can use it as much as you want, but that's going to make it nice and clean, really easy to swipe through the pages. Then you have your utility bill info. So if the client is, and sorry, let me show you in settings down at the bottom. If the client is very data driven and they want a really deep dive into what it costs, energy export credits, taxes and fees, offsets, all that will be in here. You can see your pre and post solar throughout the course of the year. Annual energy used, you can see each month up above. If you click on a month, it's going to give you billing details for that month. It goes into pretty deep detail, so I won't dive into it here, but I would encourage you again to check this out on your own to become familiar with that utility bill info section. Now, the last thing I want to show you quickly before we dive into the Q&A is our docs request portion. So we've gone through the proposal, we've clicked on all the toggles, we've adjusted the pricing, the loan options, we've qualified for credit, we've closed the deal. The next thing that you need to do is get your installation and utility documents in your hands and your customer's hands as quickly as possible so that you can close and finalize that deal, hand it off to your installer, or give it to your internal sales ops team for fulfillment. Side menu, docs request. This will, with an integration with DocuSign, allow you to pull all the information out of the proposal: first name, last name, phone number, email, address, city, state, and zip, system size, panel type, adders, battery attachment, loan option, monthly payments, ITC credits. All that information be condensed and pulled over into your installation agreement, delivered to you, ready to sign within 30 seconds. I'll show you how. Click on this, choose the homeowner. It'll auto-populate with their info. The system size and loan amount will already be in here. You choose which installation agreement you want to sign. Account number, meter number, request. Again, pulls all the info out, attaches your utility documents, net metering, interconnection, sends it to you, auto-completed, ready to sign 30 seconds via DocuSign to your inbox. When you've signed, customer gets a copy, they sign, everyone gets a copy, and your deal's closed and you're done. If you are using a tablet, there is a sign in person option. You can enable that speaking with your company owner, and we can get that turned on for you. Again, once you're ready to close, side menu, docs request in your side menu. You'll choose who's going to be signing, which is more often than not the homeowner. Auto populates with your info. Choose which template, account number, meter number, request, and then within 30 seconds, you'll have those documents via DocuSign directly to your inbox. Now, sorry, this training went a little long. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop sharing. I'm going to see if we have any questions in here that I can get to quickly. Looks like Mark was saying some people can't hear. What happens is, it's a software thing. It's not anything on our side. What typically happens is people have a browser issue, an audio or mic issue, or a connectivity issue. It's never on our side, unfortunately, which I can say confidently because I do check with Webinar Ninja before we go, and it runs me through a test on my side where it records what I say, replays it back to me. So I do know that it's working, but it is being recorded and sent out. From Juliet Bontea, can the proposal link be opened by an email not associated to the customer account? Definitely. So if you go into that share option and you type in a different email and then click on send email, it will go ahead and send that via that email or to that email. Again, side menu, share, replace this email with whatever you want and click send, and it will send it to that email. You can do the same thing with multiple phone numbers if you want to. Great question, Juliet. Can it be printed by the customer? Yep. If you export to PDF and send them the file type, they can print it out. Can we upload utility bills and photos from Todd Goodell? Yes, you definitely can. So the utility bill will get uploaded when you go through the proposal submission process. If you want to upload a utility bill or photos after you've requested, you can go ahead and come to the customer profile. Again, if you do, say, a customer search, you'll be able to click on the name there and get to the customer. You'll also, on your home screen, have a recent lead section, which is where I typically access those items. I'll click on Bob's name here, and then I can just simply click on the information screen here, and then you'll have files, and this is where you can upload a file here. So you'll be able to upload images. You'll also have an images section here where you can do site survey images and upload them, or customer images and upload the images there. So you will have, 3-4 different ways to upload and store images or utility bills right there in the platform connected to that customer's name. Paul Lugar, how do you explain new utility bill under solar payment in the proposal? You want to talk with your sales manager, sales coach, sales leader, company owner about that. There's many different ways to pitch that. Not theoretically, but realistically, it is the amount that they will have to continue paying to their utility company to be connected to the grid. If they also don't have 100% offset 100% of the year, they will owe a little bit more in months where there's less sun exposure, such as in the winter months, or if it's a cloudy, rainy season in places such as Florida or near the Gulf Coast, they would have less offset then, which could lead to a higher utility bill that's remaining at that point in time. But as far as explaining and pitching that, you'll want to talk with your company owner to figure out how to best pitch that to your clients in the tone that your company wants to have that conversation. Awesome. We are right at the hour. What I will say is I don't have any more questions in the chat. So if you did have any more questions, again, you should have moved them over to the question section. Unfortunately, I am out of time for today. I have an 11 o'clock stop. But I do want to thank everyone for being here, for joining the training, going through it with us. I appreciate the attentiveness, everything else. It was great to connect with everyone, and we're really, really excited that you're on the solo platform. Again, don't be afraid to leverage the customer service departments, proposal support. Don't be afraid to contact us. And of course, don't be afraid to reach out to your company owners and give them feedback on how things are working so they can continue to refine and improve the tool for you. You guys are the sales reps and you guys are the ones making the money. So make sure that they listen to the feedback and input that you have so that we can keep refining the tool and making it better day after day. Thanks again, guys. We'll talk to you soon.